Hello, welcome again back to Farmspace. I've got Carl still with me, and the senior champion's just been appointed here, and we will now move into the, what do you call it, the Groot Kampioenskap.
Yeah, it'll be the grand champion.
Grand champion, that's the word.
Combinations of all the champions.
Both champions. These two bulls are a great example of what you want in the breed for their age, for their size. And what I do like is still very good testicle and scrotum placement, and they haven't gone too long, too soft, and still got good shape. And you want that in your older bulls.
Yeah, I think that's the two senior and reserve champion in the ring here. I think it's incredibly difficult to show an older bull that actually keeps it all together. They will be inclined to get longer testes, a little bit looser here and there. So, I mean, the fact that these two bulls have kept it together, and the one bull here he must be 7 years old, I think. So to be in that physical, to have that physical presence that he's got now is really a credit to the animal.
Yeah, something special, and you see how well they still move. He still stands very well, and you can see in his claws and everything that they are still in a good shape, and making sure that you've got that longevity within your animals.
100%. I mean, that is why they were able to get to 7 years old. The structural integrity is still there. They are free-moving animals. But those that can't move freely, they fall off the bus and they don't last.
And this is where, when you pick your animals, that's why you have to pick them on those technical traits on your frame, to make sure that they get to this age. And that's important, picking not just big bulls or strong bulls, but making sure they walk correctly, they're strong on their wrists, in their muscling, and they can carry the weight at the end of the day.
100%. Picking on functional traits from the get-go, and that's what's really been impressive about the way PJ's judged. I mean, he's really stuck to the functional
stuff. And that's something that is very, in South Africa, more important than anything else. It is, we do use in Southern Africa, for that matter, even worse, where we go, they have to be functional, they have to walk, we do work with them extensively. We don't have an intensive system in South Africa mostly, and we just can't afford it.
Right, for sure. You're spot on there, and I think that's where perhaps there's sometimes a divide. People think showing is far removed from the commercial world, and I think the trick is to actually to marry the two, and the showing has its place in identifying and getting the structural integrity of an animal correct. So that you can mass produce it out in the real commercial farming world.
Exactly. We had the Pleasant bull test competition the other day, and all of those starting to come together. You can use that as a tool. Your blip numbers. You can use your functional traits, which you can also, whatever happens here in the bull ring or in the ring, as from a phenotypical point of view, make sure that all three of those come together and they work for you.
I think the important thing you're touching on there is balance, and balance applies not only the balance in phenotype, the balance in a bull that he must be structurally correct. You need the balance in production. You need the balance in performance data. And the minute something gets out of balance, the minute you go onto an extreme on frame, if you're only picking on frame, too big, too small. If you're only picking on EPD or EBVs, too much of an extreme in one trait. The minute you focus on one trait, you're going to lose somewhere else. So you've got to combine it all in one bit.
Now, if you take something, as I say, that it's only, your stick is only this long, and if you move to the one side, you make it shorter, and you can't change an animal overnight.
No, you can't.
You can move into a great direction and not losing it. It takes years of breeding and years of selection, and to make sure that you don't lose on the other side. I think that's something that a lot of breeders have run into, but I think with a breed like the Angus, it comes with 400, 500, 600 years where people have been breeding for these sort of traits. You do see that in the breed. You're not going to change that overnight now. Anything you do want to change is going to take a while.
Yeah, and I think it's a multi-pronged thing. I mean, the Angus breed, we're very fortunate to have the largest genetic pool in the world.
Yeah.
So to find that little thing that you need to tweak, you're talking about the stick or a balancing scale, to add that little bit here or there, you can nitpick through a pretty
Someone else has done it already.
Someone else has got what you're looking for, and that is one of the biggest advantages of the Angus breed is the pure volume of genetics we can choose from.
You look at the Angus, you still get these it's a full breed, but you still get these very strong eye banks straight through that I do appreciate, and I think it's quite an important trait in our hard South African conditions. And I looked at it, I was actually quite impressed by how strong the heads are for the Angus. That's a full breed.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, ultimately, in your male classes, the masculinity starts in the head. I mean, the Angus is renowned for that short to compact up head with a nice disc shape under the pole between the eyes. And if you look at, I mean, the championship class, the pinnacle of the bulls being judged. If you look at all their heads, they've all got that broad muzzle, width between the eyes, that sort of short, compactor head that the Angus breed is renowned for, and with the masculine fitted onto a masculine neck. None of these bulls have that tradition, that old coffin-shaped, long, narrow type of head that was traditionally associated with the Red Angus.
Yes.
These heads are good representatives of what we need in an Angus head. And with that width in the head, muzzle, you get the width through the body.
How difficult is it for a junior bull to compete against one of these senior bulls? Senior bulls had 6 years of testosterone running through them. It must be quite a tough job for a bull to compete against something a little older than him. And even for a judge to choose a younger bull, he needs to be sure that bull is going to be grown into one of the senior bulls at the end of the day.
The Red Angus Bull Show has been exceptional. The females were impressive, but I think the bulls took it to a whole nother level. These six exhibitors, let's first just appreciate them, give them a big round of applause for what they've brought us. That's very, very difficult anywhere in any breed to put bulls like together, put them together in numbers and quality. And what I like is they really fulfill the criteria of what we were looking for. They are masculine, they've got muscle, they're easy fleshing. There's nothing extreme about these bulls. They've got good testicle size and shape, really good feet. They're comfortable in their joints. They've got good angles on their hind legs and shoulders, massive in their center bodies. There's a lot of rib shape and volume in these bulls. And I think they're industry appropriate bulls. They're bulls that can go and work in the beef industry as registered bulls, and also as bulls that will go out and sire really, really good commercial calves. I've got two favorites here. I think they're two bulls that came out of a division that was truly remarkable and unique. You don't often find that many breeding bulls of that quality all in one class. So I'll go and pick those two champions. Once again, congratulations to our Red Angus bull breeders. Absolutely incredible show.
Okay, the PJ picks up first. Okay. The PJ has picked his first winner. A very tough lineup. And you'll see two of the older gentlemen going through. Looks like it.
So he's picked his junior champion as the grand champion bull, and he's picked his reserve junior champion as the reserve.
Actually, something special. I was just talking about before how tough it must be.
You're talking about how difficult it is to evaluate through age groups, and I think ultimately it goes down to structural integrity and balance in an animal. And an animal that is phenotypically more correct and has all the functional traits of being able to move properly, well muscled in the right areas, and just has balance, will always beat a bull that doesn't have that's got flaws in the phenotype. So yeah, I mean, you saw it in this class, the two senior bulls, they're the biggest bulls in the class, but they compete with the juniors in the back.
The juniors just a little bit better and a little bit more, maybe more functional, and they could, they're 6 years of breeding can do a lot, and that's probably where you've got to your juniors coming through. And we should say, if you bring forward, your juniors should be better than your seniors almost.
So the interesting thing, I mean, you mentioned that you take if you watch a lot of the overseas shows, and particularly in the sort of South American area, a lot of the time the younger animals come out as champions of the breed.
Yep.
Whereas in South Africa, we're still more inclined to go with older animals. And as you say, if you're making genetic progress and you're heading in the right direction, your younger animals technically should be a step ahead of the big animals. But it's people like looking at it's more complete.
You've got that testosterone, I said, that runs through, so it sort of grabs your eye when the bull walks in, and he's got that presence and that.
It takes a brave judge to place the bull calf over one of the more mature bulls. But
and it happens. It happens. It was no sweat. Yeah, that's quite impressive, and you can see these guys are very happy. But the show went on so quickly. PJ just flew through the bulls today. But it is amazing the quality all over the Bloem show, not just here the Angus, but all over that is available in South Africa. And it's something about the stock when we do have here.
Yeah, and it's really nice. I mean, as a cattleman to come to Bloem. I mean, I think I speak in the correction, but it must be 1,800 cattle on show for the week. And to just go around and stand at each ring and just observe what is going on. There are a lot of quality cattle out there, and often breeders say, their breed's better than the next breed. There's not much between breeds. There's some really top stuff out on display this week.
Yeah, I think when it comes to these sort of breeding and what's between the breeds, it's almost what's going on to society. The people that's driving it, and that people want to be part of a winning success, and people want to be part of this sort of shows, and want to be part of a breed that is thinking forwards and have plans and are putting plans together. And you can see here, with like the Angus, they are doing it, and they're trying to make things go well, look well, and present well.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you look at the effort that's gone into to make this what it is. And today isn't strictly about the showing. Yeah. I mean, it is an opportunity for breeders countrywide to get together for an event. The show is an excuse to come to Bloem. Yeah. But I mean, for the guys that aren't showing, to come chat with like-minded breeders, see what other animals are out there. And the only way you can benchmark what you've got is to actually see what else is in the breed and what's on display. So this is a perfect opportunity to do it.
No, exactly that. And if you look around here, I've seen some Brahman guys that just walking past. On the bench there's guys from the sheep industry here. So there's people coming to learn, people coming to enjoy quality animals, and the best we have to put on the table in South Africa, and as one of the largest breeds in the world.
Is the largest breed in the world.
The largest breed in the world. Angus is the show you must come and watch and see what it looks like. And because, as you said, we do import that genetics. We do take advantage of having everything
of a global breed.
For sure. Where a lot of our other breeds still struggling to get genetics into South Africa, getting genetics out of South Africa. You guys do have a little bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, spot on. And I mean, to get genetics here, although we're sometimes frustrated by the processes and the paperwork and the lack of paperwork in the background, the stuff eventually gets here. And I mentioned it earlier. I mean, it's a huge advantage to be able to click on a website, open an AI journal, and literally the world over, you can find bulls, whatever you need, it's out there and you can bring it in. And on that note, it's also a bit of a double-edged sword. You've seen some of the quality we put through the ring today. We have some pretty useful genetics right here on our doorstep. And sometimes there's an inclination to always want to, let's look overseas, or it's got to come across the Orange River, or it's got to come on a ship, or it's got to come from outside to be good. We've got some pretty decent stuff right here that we sometimes need to focus on what we've got here and utilize then jumping ship and thinking because it came in an aeroplane it's better.
Yeah, there's a quality we saw here today of the Red Angus. There's no reason we can't use that. Maybe go say, listen, we can breed and take that forward and just perfect it, because there's already a very wide range of genetics in South Africa.
And it's adapted to South Africa.
Exactly that. Now, bringing something new in is going to take 2, 3, 4 years, of maybe in 10 years, to get those genetics to adapt to our environment and make sure that the sort of type we like.
So the interesting thing, I mean, you raised there is, and we found it in our own breeding program, is often you import stuff but the progeny from the imported semen outperforms the imported semen because it's that one generation closer to what we need it to be. But at the same time, it's the semen that you're bringing in or the genetics you're bringing in are important to unlock that thing. So it's not a simple process of just bringing it in and it clicks. So yeah, it is a long term.
And it's an expensive process by that as well. And you don't get it right the first time. Sometimes you have to take 2 or 3 tries and say, well, this doesn't work with the bull that we tried or the females that we tried. We might need to go smaller or bigger. Wider, whatever the problem might have been. It's all that sort of things you won't know until you've used it once or twice.
For sure, and I think one of the toughest things to do there is when you often flash embryos, you import semen, and because it costs you dollars or whatever, people are inclined to push it forward because it costs you money. I think the secret is to know when to pull the plug. When something doesn't work, you need to actually just pull the plug, scrap it, and start again with something else. And yeah, so often people are inclined to lean to something because it was important.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Fun
100%.
talking to you. And hopefully we can do this soon again.
Always a pleasure. See you.
Have a good day. Okay, there you have it. That was the Red Angus bulls for the day. They're now doing, I think it's a super cow performance bull. Performance bulls. And so they're almost done here for the day. But watch out, we still got a lot to do here at Bloem. Until next time. Cheers.